Okay, so the Long Dark isn't exactly like Project Zomboid, but it's close enough for me to feel comfortable branching out and playing something new for a little bit. Seeing as it's winter out in my neck of the woods, and we're probably going to be locked indoors for all of it, this game is truly fitting. So without further ado, let me get you caught up on the lore. After the After a geomagnetic storm destroyed humanity's communications and technology, I was left to survive alone on Great Bear Island in Canada. Cut off from the rest of the world, I may as well be the last man on Earth. I don't think I'm getting off this island, certainly not in one piece, but maybe there's hope for me to leave once I return to dust. I was lucky enough to start in this shelter. I know this is usually a quick little rest stop with a lot of good loot, notably a ton of ammunition. I did not find a gun, however. But I did pick my first lock. Storm lanterns. Yes, storm lanterns are so good. If you see one, pick it up. After picking this house clean, I step outside on a fresh winter's day. I see a broken down cabin in the distance and I decide to check it out. I wish I didn't. That was pointless. I wasted my time. I've decided to go this way, whichever cardinal direction that is. I'm sure I'll learn more about this navigation stuff as it becomes a necessity. There's a few rabbits out there in the distance. These will make fantastic bait and decoys later on. Hey, I'm pretty good at this. By the way, rabbits aren't dead after you throw one rock. They're just dazed for a little bit, you have to grab them and kill them. After a few seconds, they get back up and run from you. I learned this the moderately annoying way. I'm gonna be honest with you, I've held 4 or 5 ferrets at a time. This bunny is way too calm. Is that east? West? Which way does the sun set? Genuinely, I forgot. Is it east? I'll tell you one thing I do know about navigation. It's probably a great idea to follow power lines over train tracks. I'll tell you why here in a moment, but first I need to contend with my body heat. I'm not producing enough of it to combat this weather, that's the problem. Lucky for me, the wind can't put out my fire in this train tunnel. Starting a fire is simple. You got a starter, tinder, fuel, and optional accelerant. Using an accelerant guarantees your fire will start, no questions asked. But do you really want to use that on just any old fire? Probably not. At level 3 fire making, you no longer need tinder. I didn't know where to put that in my explanation, so there you go. Once your fire is roaring, you can begin making food or water. I'm gonna melt snow in a pot, seems sensible, then boil that into a drinkable source of life juice. And just for the heck of it, I made some tomato soup. Felt like home. There's actually a tactical reason I cooked some soup. I just didn't know it until I ate the stuff. It gave me the warming up buff, so I can recover more temperature faster and be on my merry way a little sooner. You just gotta follow the tracks until you see this breakaway, follow that, and you'll find a cozy little cabin ready for you to loot. Grab your storm lantern, light it, take it in. Safety. After a little resource management and sleeping, we wake up and head out into the Great White North. I sprayed a nice little marker to remind me where to go. That's gonna be huge later, I promise. Actually, I wasn't ready to go outside. It's far too cold for all that nonsense. But while I can talk about it, something you need to do when you make a fire and cook food or boil water is multitask. Don't wait for the water to be done or the food to be ready. Read a book, maintain your clothes, weapons, etc. Just don't let the fire burn out without doing something else. Okay, now I'm really going outside. I've made it to the cabins in the distance, and now is the time to talk about looting and resource management. I don't have much of a system to follow, so in the coming videos, I'll be trying out a minimalist approach. Got a nice coat, very cool. Some awesome looking socks, we double up sockies, made a friend. Next cabin, I made the brutal mistake of leaving behind my magnifying glass. I don't rectify this mistake, it stays. Don't leave your magnifying glass. Okay, so that last cabin was a huge letdown, but you know what's only a minor letdown? My live streams, every Monday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, usually. Click that hot little subscribe button to get notified when I go live, gamer. This hatchet is going to save me, I can feel it. I took a quick nap before I venture out even further, then realized I got lost. Yeah, no clue where I'm at right now. At all. I remembered my spray paint arrow and immediately knew where my home was. I took a quick little nap and woke up to find the electricity is acting wild. I'm not messing with you guys, I got lost in this a little bit. This was gorgeous and terrifying. I went back inside to harvest my rabbit corpses. Quick tip on that, by the way. If you want to turn your rabbit meat into rabbit bits, you can press harvest, wait a second, then cancel. You'll get smaller, more numerous chunks of rabbit meat to drop when being chased. Just press 3 in the heat of the moment to drop some rabbit chunks. Don't try to sort through your inventory to grab them, it doesn't pause the game. I learned that the hard way. You'll see. Anyway, I begin heading out further down the tracks just to see what's out there. And the answer was danger. danger was out there. I got attacked. I didn't even know it was happening. I also didn't know the shortcut to drop a decoy at the time, so I rummaged through my bag like an idiot. I just told you not to do that. Don't be like me. Then this wolf caught me, unbuckled, pants down, backpack unzipped. Thank God I had that hatchet and barely sustained any damage. That out of the way, I wanted to take care of my heating issue, so I found a little nook and started a fire, cooked a little rabbit, boiled a little water, and got caught in a life-threatening blizzard. When did I get turned around? Okay, whatever. I'll just take time to recoup. I know the dam is pretty close. I'm gonna head there and check it out. I'll show you a couple of spots to loot on the way. I'm hoping to get lucky and find either a knife or a gun. In this red train, sometimes there's a corpse, but not for me. So we keep walking down the tracks until we see a yellow car. We're gonna loot that next. Not a dang thing. Again, we keep moving down the tracks. Eventually, you'll see the dam in the distance. That place is huge. I hear it takes about 30 minutes or so to loot, and there's rumors that a wolf might be lurking inside. But man, the stuff you can get from there would surely set me up for a while. No guns? Period. Okay, fine. I'm gonna get a small refuge set up in these trailers so I don't have to trek all the way back to the cabin each time my bags are full, which just means putting away a ton of items. Let me quickly go through what I try to carry on me to keep my weight to a minimum. In terms of fire starting, I keep mainly matches. If I'm heading out for a loot run, I'll leave behind a lot of my fire starters as they spawn in great quantities outside. I'll try to keep a little bit of every type of medicine on me just in case. Prioritizing bandages and painkillers, but that's just me. You'll eventually want to lean towards crafted clothing, deer skin, bear pelts, rabbit gloves, etc. All give you a much better chance of survival than regular clothes, but keeping a limited backup set isn't a terrible call if you've got the space. As far as food goes, you only need about 2 liters of water, enough food for a day of travel, and bits of rabbit meat to drop as decoys or use for bait. Tools should be kept to 2 empty cans, a knife, hatchet, torch flares, sewing kit, whetstone, a bow, and just a couple of arrows. If you're lucky enough to find any of that is. And finally, for materials, you'll want to keep a few pieces of cloth on you and leather for repairing your clothing. That being said, let's go to the dam. Oh, I'm not stepping into the dam with this going on. This video's getting pretty long anyways, so I'll just save the dam for its own video. Hopefully by now I've shown you a thing or two on surviving the long dark. And next week we might get into the dam. Maybe it'll be in a few weeks, I'm not sure yet. I know I'm gonna try to get a Project Zomboid series going. I talk too fast. I know I'm gonna try to get a Project Zomboid series going here pretty soon. Hopefully I can get that down to a few days of production so I can throw up 2 videos a week. Be pretty cool. Anyway, I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you next week.